everybody. I was thinking you would, I don't know why, it's already a great day, everyone. I'm Katie, and we're going to be playing some Scum and Villainy. This is session 3. And we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. We're missing Josh today because he's sick and is blaming me again for getting him sick, and I've done nothing wrong. Anyway, we're going to start with Elle. You're going to tell us who you are, who you're playing, your pronouns, all that great stuff.
Hi, I'm Elle. I use these pronouns. I'm playing Weven 10, who is a mystic, and Faye uses Faye Fair pronouns.
I'm Katie. I use she, her. So does my character Indigo Wen, who is a scoundrel and the worst captain of a ship in the world. And Matthias, you can take it away.
Hi, I'm Matthias, he, him. And yeah, last time we did a little bit of a prisoner delivery, right? And you, if I remember all of this correctly, what happened last time is that you got ambushed or like pulled out of a hyperspace lane following a way line by a Scarlet Wolf assassin. But that assassin kind of got more than they bargained for when how did that go? Oh yeah, it was Indigo who kind of wrapped them up in a long discussion of back and forth talk about how a surrender would go down, while Tyrese approached from a dark angle. Together with Weatherman's help, he had managed to, right when you were pulled out, to get into the shuttle and undock the shuttle and hide it behind some asteroids. So that way he was able to approach and completely turn the tables on the assassin. And we saw a pretty spectacular fight scene as he took them down and left a curious message, or a kind of provocative message for them to find. And then you went and turned in Joe Tyrese, but you kept the Orbot. Little Araini. That's kind of what their name is. Yeah, we didn't linger too much on the handover, but that was basically went down as planned on where are we right now? We're on Indri, which is kind of that's kind of like the industrialized planet. That's where like a lot of stuff gets produced that that comes out of resources out of Breck and out of Rin. Maybe switch us over to the details so everyone can see where we are. So not necessarily the nicest place to just hang out. You have to wear environmental suits to go out if you want to be out for a longer time, and it's not because the planet naturally has a toxic atmosphere. It's because it's been wrecked so heavily by the industry on here. Oh yeah, we should also say we're, as usual, we're having safety tools in place. We have lines and rails set up, and we're playing with the X and an O card. X card is if we encounter something that we do not want in the game, that makes us uncomfortable in a bad way, we can just go like this, or type an X in chat, or say, I want to X card that. We roll back up, it takes the narration into a different direction. No explanation needed. The end card is if we're feeling we might be approaching a sensitive subject, just to communicate, hey, maybe let's slow down a bit, take more care, check more in with each other. And the O card is for, yes, this is emotionally intense, but it's good. I want to keep going. Do you also want to keep going? So that's often a back and forth with reacting with no in chat or like that. Yeah. So it's a bit of a question where we want to jump in. If you have questions about the handover with the Ashen Knives, we can delve into that. But we can always, like in this game, we can always flashback. We know that happened, right? So if we have like future encounters with the Ashen Knives, it's not too far-fetched to flashback. And flashbacks can also be like zero cost if it's something that's that you would have done naturally. We do have a little bit of bookkeeping to do. Little bit. We already did payoff last time, right? You got your cred, and we did heat, which was pretty manageable for that. So heat and wanted level is kept per system. So if it ever goes too high in a system, might be a good idea to go in another system and lay low there. That's how you can like reduce heat. That's one of the downtime actions as well. We also have to manage upkeep though. So upkeep is ship parts wear out, the fuel and repair costs, and minor patch jobs to handle scrapes and dents from flying through space. Each downtime right after payoff, decide if you pay for ship upkeep. If we look at the Osiris, it's let's have a look here. It's basically how many systems you have plus your crew tier, so not how many people in the crew, divided by 4, rounded down. So with and it's the ones under comms, engines, weapons, and hull that get added up, not the actual systems. It's the
we also need to pick a new special ability because our ship leveled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also a thing we can talk about in a moment.
Or I guess if we add upgrades with those, it doesn't have to be an ability, right? I don't know.
Yeah, upgrades actually. Well, yes, you can get upgrades with them. You cannot get ship systems.
Gotcha. Okay.
Those have to be bought and stuff, if I remember correctly. But I can look that up in a moment. So first question is, do you pay upkeep? It costs 1 cred.
I'll pay the upkeep.
You still have 1 cred in the. I see that right now in the ship as well. So.
Yeah, we all split the 6 that we got.
Yeah. No, I'll pay the 1 out of my personal stash, and then we'll keep the 1 in the ship stash for a rainy day.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So does this reflect Weven doing that kind of standard maintenance as well?
Yeah.
Or is this just?
Okay. I think like Weven doesn't have any points in rig. So maybe not the actual hands-on stuff, but Faye knows like what's wrong with the ship because Faye does most of the flying.
And Faye seems to be the responsible one out of the group.
Yeah, also that.
I bet it's like this scene of them having to pay for something that Indigo's just like, and Weapon just goes, fine, I'll do it. It just ends up paid for it.
Yeah, and it's
like Indigo's the worst.
Like the yearly checkup is due, and yeah, you would have to schedule that, right? That doesn't. No one forces you to do it. By the way, you can also say, no, we're not going to do upkeep. This question will come up after every mission, basically. So if you ever tied on cred, or you just don't want to pay, you can do that. And we'll see if that does anything. Then I skipped upkeep roll, which has a fair chance of no worries outcomes. But, yeah. Okay, then with that handled, there's one more thing that's called entanglements in the game, and often this is like something where the GM can just like I might roll this just on the side, but just for clarity's sake or transparency. So entanglements is like, your characters and crew didn't just spring into existence tonight. You have a complex history of favors, commitments, debts, and promises that got you where you're today. To reflect this, after each job, you roll dice to find out which entanglement comes calling. And this is largely based on your wanted level. And your wanted level in this system is 0, so who wants to roll a d6 for me?
I will. Why not, right? I rolled just 1d6.
Yep. Nice, perfect. Yeah. Okay, then let's get into it. Because that entanglement is ship trouble. The ship system acts up. So we were at it, right? Because this is perfect. We're like on that industrialized planet. The handover is probably a couple of days back, or a day or two, or something like that, right? Yeah, and I think there's probably like something we have that situation where you're like refueling, that kind of thing. That's probably the upkeep, because it was a fair bit of travel last time. That's what you're doing, and I think it's the, how would you call that, like, right, you have like gas station stewards. What's the equivalent for a spaceship in a spaceport? Like, just right, someone there knowledgeable enough to like refuel your ship and like give a hand there as you're like paying for it, and then when like things are reinitiated, I think they're like, wait, what's that humming? Yeah, I think you should get your engines checked out. Did you have like a trouble on the way here with like bumpy hyperspace lanes or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just my ear telling me this, right? Like, I don't think an R29 engine is supposed to. Do you hear that? And yeah, indeed, there's like a high pitched additional noise that you didn't hear before.
Indigo just pops out beside Weapon. I don't hear nothing. It doesn't not. It sounds normal to me.
No, I hear something.
That's not good.
No.
This is going to cost us a lot of money.
It might.
So
You just Indigo deflates, if that's even possible. Just done.
let's look at repairing a ship. So what's damaged is the engines. To be clear.
That's not a thing that we need. It's fine.
I mean, it's still working, right? It just might. I don't know. I think they're like. You might want to be careful with like pushing your engine to limits. I think they kind of look at the two of you, trying to judge what kind of outfit you're flying, basically. Right?
A legitimate one.
Yeah.
We have a reputation and everything.
Yeah. What's our reputation again? Is it bold?
Daring, which is just space for stupid.
Actually, I have to look up how to repair stuff on a ship. Let's see. But after that, or I mean, you can still decide how you want to deal with that while I look this up. Do you already know what you want to spend your downtime actions on?
I wanted to use one of my, I don't know if it counts as downtime. You'll have to tell me. I wanted to use my my move. That's not the right character sheet. My I know a guy move, because we're docked in Indri, right? So I wanted to go find a job with one of these options, but I don't know if that counts as downtime or not.
That's like you get that guaranteed, right? We can always go to free play to do stuff. Downtime is just like these two guaranteed things that you get to do.
Gotcha.
Out of the list, which is most often indulging your vice to reduce stress, but can be train. Oh, there's that. Thank you. Or repair. That's a downtime action, actually.
Yeah, I think that she would spend a credit to repair 1 level of damage to a ship system.
Mm-hmm.
And then she would probably train. Those would be her 2 downtime, not downtown, downtime actions.
Yeah. It's actually, how do I mark damage on this sheet on a ship, basically? I was wondering about that. Well, anyways,
I don't see it.
no, I don't either. So I would have had to remove one, but this is fine. Like with that action, so is this just like being like it going? I think this this person is definitely more the kind like I think they know how to fix something up, right? And is this Indigo just like taking them aside and being like, hey,
do what you gotta do. Here's the money. Just make it work again. Yeah. And she spends 1 of her credits for it.
Yep.
I think she likes the idea of keeping the one for the ship for, a rainy day.
Where's it? Yeah. I like that too. Yeah. So, so it's basically probably gonna take like an afternoon sitting there in the maintenance bay of the hangar or something like that. So what other things? What's Weapon up to?
I'm gonna work on my long-term project.
Oh, the telepathy one?
Uh-huh. I don't remember what I roll for that. Is that just fortune?
Here's the fun thing. That's all you get to say. So it'll always be an action roll. But you gotta say like give us the basically the fiction you're doing and what action roll it would be. Remember, if you have a friend helping you out or a contact or something like that, you get a bonus die. That is
okay. So I think it's a tune. That makes sense here. And I think it's that Weaven's just kind of been trailing Indigo around the ship and just like getting a better sense for her like way aura and trying to like attune to that.
Indigo just keeps looking over her shoulder. What are you doing? Why? You've been following me for like 2 hours now, Weaven. I need. It's getting a little creepy.
No, I just need a little bit longer, and then I think I can figure this out.
I don't. All right. I don't like it though. She just walks off.
Weaven waits for a beat and then follows after her.
And I think the thing is, I think the camera stays even after Weaven has left the picture, and then it's Anaini who's like following Weaven around.
Very good.
Okay, gonna roll my attune.
Nice.
That's a 6.
A 6 means 3 ticks. So here's a little secret though. A crit on a downtime action roll means 5 ticks on a long-term project clock. You can always...
Okay, I'm 1 off.
You're 1 off, and you can always pay cred to bump one effect level higher. So whenever you roll a 6 on a long-term project, it's kind of worth it, because you could also spend a 6 to do another another downtime action.
Yeah, I'll spend my last cred.
Here's the question though, right? What do you spend the cred on to bump this up?
Yeah, what do I spend the cred on? I think it's that I spend the cred to take Indigo out for like a nice relaxing night. And we just like spend time together at a spa.
Yes, 150%. Yes. And Indigo is not, she does not suspect anything. She's like, oh, my crew loves me.
Nice. Yeah. Because then you get 5 ticks and then your clock is full.
Yeah, my clock is full.
So how does... I kind of want to know what that looks like when it suddenly works. Is that... So you bought some luxury spa time on this industrialized planet. That's why it's
like
one
one of
credit
those,
also, right?
like one of those
Yeah.
those like natural hot springs, but like it's not water, it's just like some weird space liquid, and it's
Also, it's like in an enclosed space because of the planet being terrible.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I think we're just like walking back to the ship, and Wevin, like, like looks at Indigo and then says with fair mind, "Did you enjoy that?"
and when Indigo hears it in her mind, I don't think she puts it together immediately. So she looks back at Wevin and is just like, yeah, I guess it was. Wait. Did you? Wevin, are you in my brain?
I can project. I cannot receive as line of sight only.
Doesn't make me feel that much better because everywhere in my ship is line of sight, Wevin.
Does this freak Indigo out?
So much. Because, I mean, Indigo knows about the way and knows it exists, but that's not... Because she's one of those people, like, she totally respects Wevin using it, and that's how Wevin works.
Mm-hmm.
But Indigo wants nothing to do with it. That's not her stuff. So she's completely just like, just give me a warning, please.
Mm-hmm. I was mostly thinking that it would be useful on a job if we wanted to communicate that way without somebody noticing.
Yeah, but how am I going to communicate back with you?
We'll work on that.
Just don't do it sneaky on Tyrese, because he might try to kill you.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
This is very weird, Wevin, and strangely, it's not the weirdest thing you've ever done.
What is the weirdest thing you think that I've done?
I have a list. Would you like to see it?
I would like to see it.
She's just pulling Wevin back to the ship to show this like list of completely not weird things that Indigo thinks is weird.
Do you have an idea what those might be? Like, I know this is completely off the cuff, because I'm like almost half like wanting to flash back to that.
Probably like, because Wevin is technically like what we know as an alien, right? Correct?
Yep.
Probably something to do with Wevin and
oh, with fairy religion.
That or fair like lavender. It's lavender skin, right? Don't you have lavender skin?
Yes.
Yeah, something like maybe they're like, sometimes your skin glows really weird and I don't like it. It's just like these weird things that Indigo has just written down. Are totally not weird at all. Indigo's just the worst person.
Also, like, I wouldn't have taken Indigo for someone to like write or keep a journal in general.
She'll always
but she
surprise
does
you.
about this stuff.
It's just about the things that annoy her.
It is. It's Indigo's annoyance journal.
Yeah, a therapist once who told her, if you write things down, that'll help you. And then Indigo just writes things down, then doesn't reflect on them at all, and just gets continuously annoyed by them anyway.
It's the one lesson she had from growing up rich. Is like this random therapist told her to write things down, and that's all she carried over from that life. But in the most non-constructional way, like, she does not help her at all.
Yeah, you heard about this trend about like bullet journaling. You're like, yeah, bullets are annoying.
Oh, that's so
Ain't getting
good.
shot by those.
And sometimes Tyrese isn't there to take them for me.
Nice.
She gets off on these tangents and goes from like Weapon to Tyrese, and now there's a new section for the Yearbot, and it's just it whirs a lot.
I was like, that's like saying that I breathe a lot. That's just what it does.
Oh God, she's horrible.
Weapon, did you know that she was keeping that kind of journal?
No. I think that Faye had seen Indigo like writing in it and just kind of assumed that like, oh, Indigo keeps like a captain's log.
That's an annoying
Captain's log. Weapon annoyed me today.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, this is perfect. So what else are you up to? So we can also talk about, in general, how you get new jobs, because, yes, Indigo, you have a special ability that's makes it, like, gives you more say in what the next job could be, right? But in general, it's also something, like, you can just say what kind of things you're looking out for and what you want to do. And this is kind of like a little bit of a meta thing where, like, I think we really want to do this or that. I also have something in mind that I could propose and that might come up. So this is not like all on you.
Yeah. I know that when they're in injury, probably like the second day they're there, because they're not planning on staying long. Maybe there's like the port of injury is sort of like half port, half like this mining kind of expedition, not expedition, is not the word I'm looking for, where like a lot of miners
where like the huge loads of things get like dropped onto this planet to be
yeah. So there's like maybe not like a job board per se, but like someone who is always known to know who you know, if you're like a captain or someone who comes into ports, you know, they know what's going on in not just this system, but the other systems as well. And so Indigo, like one night, just goes to go see them, and she's looking for a job that's not a rush job. Because whatever maybe Tyrese is off, like, for his own downtime or something. She wants something that they can like actually spend some time going about it the smart way, maybe for once in their life. And doesn't want to really get into it too much without Tyrese being there. So she wants something that is just going to be like, they've got this new Yearbot. After what Chow told her, she wants to sort of work with Weapon to figure out if maybe this Yearbot knows something. So she wants them to have a job, but a job that's not going to put them on like a very strict time limit.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it doesn't pay like as much as they're used to, that's still a little bit of credits coming in, and they're not rushed. It's better than nothing. Indigo's not the kind of person, and I think probably Weapon and Tyrese know that they jump from job to job quickly. Indigo doesn't like to sit around.
Okay. Yeah, because your option it's not deadly. It pays well enough. It's not a rush job. It comes from a faction you trust. It targets an enemy you have.
Yeah.
So this way, all the other options are kind of left open for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very well be deadly.
I mean, rush jobs that take a long time. Who knows?
Yeah, it's something to plan out.
And I think that's why she's doing it. That Yet could have these other downfalls, but if it doesn't take it, if they don't have a time limit on it, they can spend time smartly thinking how to get around that, which is something they don't do. Yeah. Or Weven tries to do, but no one else does.
Here's a question. You have on your list of friends Jarl as ship mechanic. Was this Jarl that we already saw earlier?
I think that could make sense. Yeah, that maybe Jarl was the one that Indigo took aside and told them, like, just get this fixed. Here's your money. Just get it done as quick as you can.
Yeah.
Because I didn't take Jarl, so they're maybe not true. They're more acquaintances than anything. I think she just trusts that Jarl can get the job done.
Yeah, and if and right, what this means is like you know them, I mean, you paid for it, so like that's perfectly in the wheelhouse to do that stuff. Yeah.
I have a question. Do we get 2 downtime actions?
Yes, and you can buy more by spending cred.
Okay, because I've only done 1.
Yeah,
and I think Indigo's only done 1.
Yeah, but I mean, it could be done at any time during this little down. Yeah, I'm just gonna train.
Yeah, I was also just going to train, but my training will fill out my insight track, so I want to be able to assign that PIV.
Ooh.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm also doing insight if we want to work together. That can be what we do.
So you're both training inside?
Because you don't roll for training, right? You take unless you're
mark.
Unless your ship has training in it, then you take 2, but otherwise you just take 1.
Yeah, you just gotta give what you're actually doing in fiction again.
Yeah, I think Indigo goes and finds Weven and has actually finished one of the books that she took from Weven, and just like, don't quote me on this. And if you tell anyone, I'll deny it. But I was actually pretty interested in this. Do you have any more?
I do. That's actually the first one in a series.
How many are there?
There's 5.
Oh, no. Yeah, I don't think she's known what she's gotten herself into. So she takes the other book more reluctantly than she was planning on. But I think
first you were really proud. I finished this.
Yes!
Oh no, it's only a 5th.
Oh my god, there's more. I think you can see though, like Indigo's genuinely interested, like for the first time, because I'm putting it into insight into the PIP I'm going to take is going to be doctor, so maybe it's a medical.
Yeah,
I just wanted at least one PIP and something to help us out. So she'll probably make it through this series and be done with it, but she's genuinely interested in learning about whatever, this series you've picked out for her, which is really weird for Indigo, but like she likes it.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, I think it's like kind of, it's like a series written by a doctor, and it's like the fictionalized adventures of a doctor. Yeah, and it has like actual like medical procedures and information like scattered in there, but it's like this doctor has a whirlwind romance and has to do an appendectomy.
He thought his heart was going too big, but actually it was his appendix.
What's the name of this fictional doctor?
I don't. Let me get a name. Let me generate a name for you.
It's got to be something though that Indigo cannot pronounce and says the wrong thing every time. Every single time. Then it becomes her favorite series.
Nice.
Embrasandra?
Oh, can you spell that for me?
I'll copy and paste it into the Zoom chat.
Nice. Awesome. Oh, I love this.
my go-to name list for like aliens and sci-fi names is I have a list of names that were generated by a neural net, and it's like this is what this neural net thinks that names are.
This silly neural net. That's not a real name.
It's real good.
In a couple of years, that neural net will find this recording on Twitch and track us all down.
And then feel so embarrassed that we made fun of it.
Or that.
Then track us down and kill us.
Okay. Nice. Oh yeah, that's your second downtime action. If you have cred, you can spend downtime, or you can spend it on more downtime actions if there's stuff you want to do.
Wevin is putting Fair Pip in Rig. Faye has been spending a lot of time hanging out with Araini and has been learning about how they work.
Oh, nice. And I think yeah, so they act kind of like a shy, little bit reclusive child in a way, and generally the way they work is, or how all robots work also is, they have like an AI core, which is their personality, and you could potentially put into any drone, right? But it's definitely like this kind of personality is strange. The patents on these AI cores is with one of the most powerful guilds, the Guild of Engineering, or that's one of the most powerful factions in general. You suspect they might also have been the target of the jobs the Ashen Knives had at Chodu. So maybe that's a thing to keep in mind, or to be like, that could be a potential job, by the way, right? Like maybe arranging for a I think we've got something that's your property. How much are you willing to pay to get it back? I don't know if would be going for that, but just like as a good example, right? But more about the bot itself. Yeah, I think Araini is very much like they communicate where mostly via little chirps and burps, like that's and you're getting like more into okay, like actually getting a feel for what they might mean. You can often find them just being occupied by small little bits, things, arranging, like whatever they found lying about ship into like patterns, and things like that.
Wevin dumps out Fair like crystal collection for Araini to play with.
Yes. And right, the crystals have meaning for you as well, right? Or you use them do you actually use them to interact with the way? Is that, or is this just
It's like part of Weaven's personal practice. It's something that Faye can use to like focus on the way. The crystals themselves don't really interact with the way, but it's like personally important to Weaven.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. I do think what you notice after a bit is that Araini, well, it comes across as intuitive for you, that they arrange the crystals in like patterns that seem familiar to you, like patterns that you would use, and you're not. Wait, that's not something that I've witnessed me doing, right? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So that's a thing that happens there. Yeah, do you want to spend any, or you want to spend a credit on something else in downtime?
Nope, I'm good.
We need to decide what we want to do for our ship.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes, right.
That's always fun.
Which makes sense what we do, and as we're docked.
So ship upgrades.
I sort of, and this is cool with you, Al, because we've been doing, especially you've been doing a lot of why do I keep saying downtown? Why is that word so hard for me? Downtime activities. If we take on the trail, we gain an extra activity for long-term projects or acquire extra assets. I'm sort of cool with that because the farther we go, the more we'll probably be working on long-term, and you can already start another one.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do that, Josh will just have to like it. He's not here.
Doesn't get a vote.
But
that's what you get for being sick, Josh.
And blaming me when I've done nothing. But I think that makes sense because that's something that I see Weaven doing a lot is the downtime activities. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To you, and if you're cool with it, I wouldn't mind taking that one.
Yeah, I was thinking that or like loaded for bear because then you get +1 load, which is useful. But so I'm fine with either.
Okay. I like the extra because that always gives you also a chance to, if you start that gives you more of a chance to get that long-term project done quicker.
Like it's very good. Like if you had an intense mission and you're wounded and you're stressed out, you wouldn't like spend 2 downtimes just on like recovering.
Yeah.
And not make any headway anywhere else without spending cred. So this might it's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to go with that's fine. We can look next time at what else you could be doing, because like upgrading the getting other upgrades is also a thing you can do.
I didn't really want to focus on actual ship things, like get anything without at least Josh's opinion. I don't think he'll mind taking that ability. So. Because it can benefit him too.
And just to explain, you can get a special ability. You can upgrade either comms, engines, weapons, or hull by 1. But then, like, you still need to buy the system that you want to plug in there, or you can. Upgrade your crew quality, your crew quality, one, which makes you like be able to contend with. Like, that's overall general quality. Or you can get 2 upgrades. So that's the thing, because they are like much more specific and singular. What's down there with like tracer stun weapons, right? Or any of the auxiliary modules.
Yeah, that's the ones I didn't want to do without, because Josh did such a good job for us last week. I wanted him to have a say, and I don't think he'll care about the on the trail.
Yeah, and on the trails.
I didn't want to like take a vault, and Josh like, no, we don't fucking need that, and I don't want to, because we don't, Yeah. So I didn't want to do that. Yeah, and if it was cool with Elle, I'm
for next time you can get 2 upgrades for 1 advancement, while systems is you only get 1 pip, and that's kind of stuff. But also like, do you need a Land Rover? Maybe.
Not right now.
Cool. Then I'd say, you all have another free downtime action, but I think let's take, because you just took that special ability, right?
Yeah.
But I think let's take a short little break.
Yeah, great.
5 minutes, something.
We'll be back in 5-ish minutes. At right on the hour, probably. So hang in there. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, we're back. Going to go ahead and turn it immediately over to Matthias, and let's continue this downtime.
Yeah. So with that special ability, you both have another downtime action you can take. But I think because maybe this will affect what you're how you're going to handle this. I had a question, right? You have a pretty good relationship with the ghosts, I think they're called. And we haven't talked in detail how you actually know them. But they did supply you with something about your ship or an upgrade or something like that, if I remember correctly. My question, so just to remind us, the ghosts are scientists that live exosuited in a half-phased state. The Church of Stellar Flame offers a bounty on them and their ghost ship. They
gave us our medical bay.
Yeah. And they their turf is the Skeleton Key, a half-phased corvette. So the thing about them is, so before the mishap, the ghosts were scientists. All are intelligent and educated. They phase out of reality if too long outside their suits. Or outside people, because they can possess people in their phase state. The only problem is, if they ever do that, those people die afterwards. So
okay.
Cool.
And they probably found out the hard way and are not actively trying to do that. But that's potentially how you might have run into them or gotten to know them. And they supplied you with your medical bay, which is also interesting in that context, I think. So my main question here would be, how do we think, if they wanted to reach out to you, what that would look like? And it kind of depends. Because, right, they could just be inside a suit and just call you up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a way. But they're obviously trying to stay low key, because they're being actively hunted by what's the dominant religion type of space, or at least the backed by the hegemony. The church is. But I think so maybe that way. What happens is you pick up a maybe it's a communication or no. Way better. I don't know how this works, because are you living on your ship most of the time, or were you staying while you're planet side?
I think Indigo stays on her ship.
I think Weven stays on the ship.
Yeah.
And Indigo's not going to leave the ship.
So if someone came, would we just hear a knock on the port, or is it an actual ringing the bell sound.
I think we have a bell.
Yeah, we definitely have a bell. Indigo is a little bit fancy. But it doesn't make the noise that it was supposed to when it was installed. So it's like been on the fritz for a very long time. So it's just like it starts out as a good ding, but then it just
chime.
Yeah, it starts out as a nice chime, but then just fucks up halfway through it.
And it like goes off key.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, well, there's someone at the door.
Ding now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably something that could be fixed so easily. None of them have just done. Like, none of them care enough to do it.
Is there like, who would be answering it? Is it something
Probably whoever's closest to the door. Like, honestly, like, probably just matters on whatever anyone's doing.
Uh-huh.
Like, if after a couple of seconds, Indigo realized that no one else was going to answer it, she'd pull herself away from whatever she was doing and go answer it, of course. It's probably very casual in the ship, I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think also at this point, like, I think Darius like left kind of a message or something that he's got some longer thing he needs to tend to planet side, and he'll be gone for a bit. Like, I think there's a way to reach him should you need to, but
yeah.
So he's like away on business, whatever his business is. Yeah, and as you like open the hatch there, there's like all you can see is like there's like this little package, like I don't know, like that kind of like a box, and it looks like a package box, like it's wrapped, and it is kind of out of kind of like some futuristic cardboard kind of thing, and I think it's definitely got like a little display, which is more or less just like a big delivery sticker that is able to like display stuff, and it's just sitting there. It's not ticking or anything, and I think as you like pick it up, look around, like there's at least not someone in immediate surroundings that you notice who might have left it. And you take it inside. There's the thing like where I think it's addressed. Would it be? Here's the thing. Who of you actually did the or had the most interaction with the ghost? Was that a collective thing, or was this more of a Weven thing? Because I'm thinking about who this package might be addressed to.
I personally think it would be a Weven thing, because that it led to the medical bay. That was Weven's whole. That was what Faye were interested in. I think that's, and like even if Indigo opened the door, like she'd see it addressed to Weven and just like back up and call Weven to the door. Like, yeah.
So like when you touch it, that's like when it lights up and tells you like who this is addressed to, and it's obviously like waiting to be like being received by that person. So in this case, by Weven.
Yeah, she just calls, like, just backs up, looks at the box again.
So you're not picking it up, taking it inside.
It. Yeah, she contemplates opening it herself, honestly. How big is
Mm-hmm.
it a size that Indigo could get it inside?
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
this, right?
Yeah, then Indigo picks it up and like probably walks to like the common room where they eat and everything, and just Wevin, there's there's something for you here. And she's just like reluctantly sitting it down, doesn't know what it is, she's not sure if she wants to know what it is.
Like Wevin comes in with Araini trailing fair, and like does it have like a return address on it?
Yeah, so as soon as you touch it, those details become basically visible, right? They unscramble, and there's like a little thing that flashes like message upon delivery, that you know, like, okay, when you could touch that, it'll like tell you something, say something to you, but it's also got like but it's more like a PO box return address kind of thing, where it would be like sent back, right? And I think when you like touch the message part, I think you see. What would you see? Yeah, you see the kind of like old grizzled face of Roy Stantz. That's his name. Pop Hop. And it's like he kind of has like a always kind of like a sour or bitter expression on his face. But he was the one who basically gave you the instructions on how to get that medical bay up and running, or those things. And what you see is like a recording of him without his exosuit helmet. I think it's like a high quality recording, so it's like, well, it's not like a cheap hologram. This is like if he weren't half faced from reality, you would get like a high res recording of him. But this way, it's clear that it must be him. It must be from him. And it's like a pre-recorded thing, and it says, good. I hoped I'd find you with Mrs. Wynn. Word got around that you might be looking for a job. We have a little something we'd like you to tend to, if at all possible. If not, just send this package back. Pretty straightforward, actually. We just need this package carried in a return trip once around the what's it called? Once around the belt of fire. That's really all that needs to happen. Need some exposure directly there. If you would do this, here's what's in store for you, and then like a number comes up, which is basically like 4 cred worth of things.
Do I know anything about the Belt of Fire?
Yeah, so the Belt of Fire is, in this system, the region of superheated plasma currents between the Iota binary stars. Space has spun yarns about the old dragon, a vast space creature living there. While the name is whimsical, the hegemony issued a quarantine order for the area after several ships disappeared.
I think she looks over at Weaven and just raises an eyebrow and is just like, you think it's worth doing?
How much credit is it for cred?
Yeah, and it's just like fly there, like this, like it's like a 2-week thing, right? You fly there 1 week, you hang that thing outside so it gets hit by the radiation, and you fly back again.
Yeah, might as well, right?
Easy creds. And I mean, they'll owe us, right? Even if they've paid us, this is sort of going out of the way. We can sort of call on this kind of favor, right?
Is it?
She just leans closer to Weaven. Weaven, you should know by now, I can call on any type of favor.
Yeah.
And I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't see why not. It doesn't seem like we need any kind of extra help from Tyrese or anything. We can just get this over and done with.
Mm-hmm.
And does Indigo knows where it's come from too, from the ghost, right? Because she saw the.
Yeah. You know Roy stands as well. I assume.
She looks at Weaven again. You want to help the ghosts? I mean, we don't gotta. They did say to send it back.
I want to help them out. They gave us a medical bay.
They have that medical bay saved our asses a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, then let's do it.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got time, like Tyrese will be busy. Question is, do you want to do anything in preparation beforehand for that mission, or do you want to spend your additional downtime on something else?
Can I get some kind of map of like the especially dangerous areas of the Ring of Fire?
Yeah, definitely. Like something that helps you.
Yeah.
Like plotting a course, that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that. So that's perfect for like the acquire asset thing. So what happens there is you get to roll the crew quality, which is 0 right now. So that's like a little bit of a downer here. If you look on the crew sheet, the ship,
Mm-hmm.
right at the top there is crew, and that's like at tier 0. So if you click that, that would make the roll happen.
Yep. Okay, that's a 2.
So on a 2, yeah. So what you get is I think what you find out is like when you like access information networks and that kind of stuff to see where you can get something like that. All that, or what you mostly get is where you're not supposed to go, right? And like detailed readings of recordings of what right of like energy readings, radiation. That all seems to be off limits. But you can definitely you've got something to go on, and you'll be able to basically you don't need to fly blind into this thing.
For her other, I think Indigo's gonna do her advice anyway, because if she sees Weapon like preparing and getting this map and getting ready, you know, then she's just gonna try to make sure that she's all right as too. I just indulge vice, right?
Yeah. 1 second. You can bump this asset up, but it's probably going to be expensive. To be like worth an additional die, for example, for the engagement roll, it's probably would be 2 cred. So it's kind of expensive from the baseline roll here. No?
Ain't got that. Ain't got it.
Okay. Yeah. What's it look like though?
Yeah, I think she, because I think we established that last time that she was running low on her stash anyway. So I think she just uses up the rest of what she's got. Smokes it just quickly. Doesn't really like. I think she knows that they're getting ready to go somewhere. So
also,
takes her time.
Yeah. Also, you know, like nothing's going to be happening for first week to get till you get there. So you can like, you know, Weaven's gonna be in the pilot seat. So if you space out for the first couple of days, that won't
not
affect
too worried, but you know, she wants to try a little bit to be responsible, but also this is Indigo we're talking about.
Yeah. Sure. Good roll.
I overindulged.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens when you do that.
I do clear the 3 that I had, though, right? Okay, I've just overindulged by 3.
So overindulgence. If your vice roll clears more stress than you had marked, you overindulge. A vice is not a reliable, controllable habit. It's a risk, and one that can drive your character to act against their own best interests. So when you overindulge, you make a bad call because of your vice, in acquiring it or while under its influence. To bring the effect of this bad decision into the game, select an overindulgence from the list. So you can you get to choose that you were taking a rash action, which reduce your stash by 4. We haven't talked about stash. That's the thing that the money you put aside for when the game ends to see if you're going to live on in good fortune or not. If you can't or won't, the crew takes 2 debt. So it's basically you going out and buying new stuff, right?
I'm so sorry. Yeah, because I don't even have a stash to decrease.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's a thing we forgot. You'll get some stash, actually. You both get 1 point of stash, I think, because you leveled up last time. Or you can choose Big Talk. You brag about your exploits. The crew gains +2 heat in the current system. Or you can choose Lost. Your character vanishes for a few weeks. Play a different character until this one returns from their bender.
Oh my god! What is our...
That's under...
What's our heat in...
Under factions.
It's under factions, okay.
In IOTA.
Yeah, let's just do that. It's not that bad.
You don't want to go into debt?
No, I don't. I don't want to put us into debt. We're just gonna take 2 heat. It's cool. It's cool, friends.
Okay.
It's only 4. We'll be fine.
I mean, this is perfect because it also fits your Indigo Talks a Good game.
Yeah, exactly. We're only half full. Elle, don't worry.
Okay.
We don't even have a wanted tick or anything. We're good.
But what are you bragging about, or how are you?
Oh, she's 100% bragging about this robot that they found. 100% bragging about RNE. I feel like this game is just me giving Elle a fucking stroke the whole time we're playing.
So while Indigo's hanging out in some spaceport opium den on this industrialized planet, what's she telling people about RNE?
Oh, that they found this Eurobot that they, might have some information on it that they need to figure out. That she personally doesn't really understand it, but she has a really smart person on her crew that, is making great relationship with this Eurobot, and they're going to get it figured out. And she just keeps talking and talking about it. And someone will ask her what information the Eurobot might have, and Indigo's like, I don't know, but whatever it is, I got a feeling it's going to lead to something big. She's completely talking mad game about this Eurobot.
Yep. Nice. Well, Weaven's been planning the actual job.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, let's talk about this job, unless there's anything else you want to get to, because there's always the possibility, right? If you want to, we can talk about that. Otherwise, the way the jobs go is you get to pick a plan and a detail. So if you look at the oh, it's on your individual character sheets, right?
That's the assault, deception, those things, right?
Yeah. This is either transport or infiltration, maybe? Mm-hmm. But probably transport.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the route and the means, right? Because you established that you basically have where you're allowed to go and where you're not allowed to go, and you can plan a route through where you're not allowed to go, where you need to go for this job.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to choose item loadout. So at the point we'll jump into the action, how you load it up. So you can mark load which you're going for this job, and then you get to reset your gambits, which was it one? Oh yeah, here's the thing, you could have used that gambit at any point. I forgot about that. Or you did use you.
We used a gambit.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't just mark them, but you get an additional one every time you reset because of Indigos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we get to the questions. This is for the engagement roll, which is a fortune roll. You get 1 die for sheer luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
I mean, we are going into a place we definitely shouldn't be going.
Yeah, I don't agree. I mean, it is pretty dangerous. We know that it's not the safest place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. you're planning on like actually like really like crossing it and giving it the full exposure. Sure. Then let's +1 die. Does the plan's detail or no, is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
I don't think so. I think we know what we're doing. It's basically
there and back again.
Get in, yeah, get in, get out.
Yeah. Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
No,
I mean, the target is not like a person.
Yeah,
is the problem.
No, it's kind of the law, right? You're not supposed to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? No, it's just like a no-go zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Would it make sense that she could possibly get up with Ren because he's a smuggler, that maybe he knows even more about these routes that could help us a little bit? Because I feel like being a smuggler, that would be something he probably knows the quickest, maybe not the safest, but the easiest routes to get around, especially in a place that's a no-go zone. But if it's too much of a stretch, I totally get it.
No, cool. That's cool. I'm just like, oh, that's your ex-boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so is this like, okay, well, I potentially, why would he have gone there to smuggle something though?
That's what I was wondering, unless like he had to travel through it to get somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's still sort of a stretch. Even like to me it's a stretch.
I mean, if you can tell me when you call him up, what weird kind of job he had that made him go there, that might work. Like that might assist a lot with like the asset that you got, the like the general map of where you're allowed to go and where not. I can see that, but then I want to hear that story.
Yeah. I think she calls him up and is just, what's this place called again? Because I totally forgot. The Fire.
The Belt of Fire.
Belt of Fire. Okay. Yeah, I think she like gets on the communicator and calls him, and is just like,
where do you usually expect him to be when you call him?
I think he usually stays in. He probably. What system would he be in? I think he has a warehouse kind of base thing in Ren, probably back on Warren, maybe. And she calls him and it's just like,
he's got to be inside system, otherwise it's a prolonged message until.
Oh, okay.
But it could be, if you want it to be. He might be. Oh, you know what? You remember that you pissed off the what were they called, the Starsmiths?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because you got that part about your ship from them. I think that's what we decided on, but maybe through him.
Okay.
So that might be a place where he hangs out, the shipyards.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it makes sense also that he could sort of be anywhere, stick him anywhere, because he is a smuggler.
He's a smuggler,
He doesn't have like a he probably has a base, but it's not like a where he stays all the time.
Yeah.
Um
Oh, and do you two like actually maybe do this little ping thing, so that every time you're actually inside of the same system, you do know it?
Yeah, I think
because
so.
there's like a return ping. So if you ever need something from
we rely on each other enough for stuff that it does. Yeah, because we still have a good relationship.
So I think So when you call him up, let's do this. Like that's also what fortune rolls are good for, right? So you can just roll fortune on your sheet. And it's to like you get an additional die because it's your good friend.
Okay.
And let's see how much she knows and if she can help you. And we let just the dice decide this.
5.
Yeah, that's a good result. So I think he can help there.
Yeah, I think she just calls him up and is like, "Ren, do you remember a year or two ago, I needed your help to get through the belt of fire. There was a little bit of heat on me. Details aren't important. I make bad decisions. Anyway, that's here nor there. How did you get to me so quick in the belt of fire? Because I need to know again."
I mean, it was a rough ride.
Well, I mean, it's not called the belt of happiness and rainbows, Ren. It's the belt of fire.
True that. Yeah, I got something.
Don't worry, I won't be flying. Wevin will be doing it. So already that's one tick for us. That's gonna be a little bit better.
That definitely eases some of my worries there. Thanks. We should, if we're on system, we gotta meet up sometime again.
Yeah, sure. Maybe when I'm not making bad decisions again.
Indy, that's gonna be. You're putting me off for forever there. Tell you what.
You know what? That's fair.
After this job, I'm just gonna call you up and come by, see if you're still around. Don't get burned up out there, right? Hear me?
Like I said, Wevin's flying. Don't have to worry about a thing.
All right. You take care. And he sends over the details. Yeah, that's an additional die. Are there any enemies or rivals interfering with the operation? No. Are there any other elements you want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target? Maybe this situation?
Unless Wevin has anything,
I think those fairly quiet. There's no one directly there's no direct defenses or anything. You don't have any. It's just a point in space where you're not supposed to go. Yeah.
And that's the only thing we'll be looking out for is just if anyone catches us.
Yeah. So I think that's 3 dice, right? So that's a good number for an engagement roll. Who wants to roll that?
I'll roll. It's 5 dice.
3. 5 would be.
Okay, that's a 4.
That's a 4. Mixed result. You're in a risky position when the action starts.
God damn it!
Well, probably won't have to deal with the consequences of that until next week, so it's fine.
That's true.
Yep. Here's the thing. Do we want to save that for next time? Jumping into that?
It's up to you, friends.
I like that. I mean, otherwise, like, I'm just gonna set a scene here, where we're at, but we can jump into that straight next time, and then it's like a little bit more involved, maybe, and then it could make sense that like before you, like that maybe Therese got back right before you. Hey, Therese, you're back. We got a job to do. Come on,
you got a job. Yeah. yeah. I like that.
We still get to do XP, so.
Also, I think too next week if Josh wanted to, he could do his downtime because we got to do ours and we didn't really get too deep, and we can explore what Tyrese did while Tyrese was gone.
Yeah, we could, or because like it's cool for characters to go off do their own stuff and come back. It doesn't really hinder the game. We can talk a little bit about what happened there and like brush over the downtime stuff, and maybe just be like, maybe open a clock, but also give them all a stress back or something like that. That's usually a good way to handle it. Like similarly to when you overindulge and choose to go on a bender, you come back with like no stress and no, or your injuries healed. But yeah, like fictionally, stuff happened off screen. So, crew XP first?
Yeah, sure.
Execute a successful extraction operation or capture of a bounty.
Not yet. Maybe next week.
Content with challenges above your current station? Didn't.
I don't think so.
Potentially the acquire asset one. Yeah, that could be one. I could see.
Okay.
But it's up to you to decide. Like, it's not, the GM doesn't give out XP in this system.
Yeah.
I'll just.
I mean, we are sort of going somewhere we're not allowed to be, dealing with the fact that our ship is sort of falling apart. So I could see that it is a little bit above. I could argue that it's above our current station.
Okay. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
I mean, Indigo was off yelling about having a yearbook.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, just putting that out there. So we might be in the process of developing a new one, and we just don't know it yet.
Yes. Like, I definitely can see that, because it's also you have a clock and Tyrese has a clock about like getting a name for yourselves. So we should keep that in mind, what like a good reputation there would be.
Yeah.
For you all if you continue down that track.
Poor Evan, what have you gotten yourself into?
And then express the gold strives in a conflict or essential nature of the crew.
We didn't do a lot of stuff like as a group.
Yeah.
You did talk about like what kind of job you wanted, and like, I mean, I think that's a thing potentially. Yeah, we didn't get into like what's your ambition actually as a crew. That might be an interesting thing to keep in mind for another time. But we did get the thing where, yeah, let's maybe take a job that's like a little bit more planned out.
After last time, yeah. Because that was something that was important to Indigo a little bit.
Yeah, and you two discussed, hey, do you want to help the ghosts or not? That's actually much more.
Do we want to keep bolstering our good graces with this group?
Yeah, that's much more gold drives here.
Yeah. Because if we're helping a faction, we're ultimately pissing off some other faction we don't know. So
yeah, and it's also interesting because in that point it's like Indigo being like, I don't know, what do you think? Like, it's not like Indigo's the captain with like the great vision. It's like, should we do this or not? And
a job is a job is a job.
Yeah. Yeah, and Faye says, yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. And he goes like, yep.
Someone just has to tell me yes, and I go for it.
Nice. Okay. Then who wants to go first?
I can.
Yeah.
I don't think I addressed a tough challenge with charm or audacity. I didn't really. There wasn't anything to do that, but I do think I expressed my beliefs, drives, heritage, and background because, like, talking about the way with Weven and how she's not interested in, it's weird to her. Keeping a journal of annoyances is definitely showing her beliefs. Yeah, I mean, I think that shows the kind of person that Indigo is. Did I struggle with issues from my vice? I mean,
you overindulged.
I overindulged.
Yes. So, wait, did you take 2 for beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I took 1 for beliefs, drives. Or I can take 2 because I did talk about the annoyances and then the way. Yeah, I'll take 2 for that.
I specifically wrote down the journal of annoyances.
Oh my god! It's going to bite me somehow. And then I struggled with issues from my vice because when she overindulges, she runs her mouth more than usual. So yeah, it didn't help me. It's gonna bite me in the ass. Like I already know it.
And you remember, you have the option. You don't need to put them in playbook advancement. You can slide them into inside if you wanted to, and then that's the thing. Cool. Women.
I think that I addressed a tough challenge with wisdom or the way because I finished that clock.
Yes.
I expressed my beliefs. I talked about the crystals and like hanging around with RNE, and I did not struggle with issues from my vice or traumas.
So you can get maximum of 2 out of your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Was there another thing?
Okay, so 3 total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I want to remark on Ambrisandra. So. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
How do you all feel like with like if you don't mind me asking, after we've like played like 2 sessions, full sessions, you feel like, oh yeah, there's like I can develop things I want to do or where I want to the game to head? Is that something you feel?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think that especially in like the downtime and setting up for our next missions, it's giving us a lot of freedom to do what we want to do. So I'm definitely on board. Like I like it a lot. And sorry, people watching. This was my fault. If that was a shorter episode, I have things to do.
I also have a thing to do. So
and Josh wasn't here, so it was perfect excuse.
Yeah.
We won't be back next week because I'm going to go get my shit fucked by Kiana on Bluebeard's Bride. But am I wrong?
Oh.
But the next week we come back, we'll all be here and we'll be able to set out, on this mission and whatever problem Indigo has caused for us. It's just the show's byline, Scum and Villainy, and problems caused by Indigo.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think it's very free, Matthias, and like you're giving us a lot of. And now that we've played a couple times, I'm getting the system more and more.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of knowing what to do.
Like
yeah.
Towards the end, where you're like, oh, let's call up my ex. who I have a good relationship with to get this extra die. We like just jump into a little bit of free play, and we can always use that and do that, and then see where that leads us. It's like
I love those little vignettes of scenes too. I think they're very interesting because you get a lot of insight into the characters in those little flashback scenes. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if we are good, we can go around, say any plugs, where you can find us, all that good stuff. You know what to do. I don't have to say it. Elf, you want to go first?
Hi, I'm Elle. You can find me on Twitter at occasional I don't actually know what my game schedule is for the next week, except that you can find me running Dungeon World next Thursday at twitch.tv/harpydora starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. Katie and I might be playing Invisible Sun on Monday. We don't know.
Not this Monday. No, I don't think. The week after, though. Yeah, we'll be back on schedule.
Probably. Who knows?
And I say back on schedule as if you watch Off the Table, is there a schedule? Who knows? Whenever the hell we wanna. Matthias?
Yeah, you can find me at mthsplgr on Twitter. Yeah, what next Tuesday is New Year's Eve, right? Isn't that it?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Apocalypse World is happening, but I'm not sure. Keep up with actually like Josh down there at Pro Restarter to find out if that's happening or not. I don't think so, but that's the other show I'm on currently. And otherwise, I also don't have a plan for the new year yet, so see each other around. Oh yeah, Cold Ruins of Last Life, that'll be coming back. I think not this week, but next week, Saturday.
Cool. Good show. You made it on RPG, and did you see that? Your loud yell, scary yell. It was really great. It was so good. I was watching it and just cackled the whole time because I'd already seen the clip. I'm Katie. You can find me on Katie Fates on Twitter, here, everywhere. You know where to find me. You're probably tired of me. I'm on Off the Table. I believe next Tuesday on New Year's Eve, it's maybe our Urban Shadows finale. Right now it's looking like it's for go. It was so good, Jim. It was the best fucking reveal ever. No one saw it coming. I don't have anything going on tomorrow, I don't think, which is amazing. On the 30th, I'll be on Other Doc's channel for my dear friend Jim playing something. It's a hack of Lady Blackbird, but it's Hamlet in space, I believe. I'm just here for the ride, friends. And we'll be back on this channel definitely next on the 4th. That is next Friday, I believe. Yeah. Playing Bluebeard's Bride at 12 noon Central Standard Time. We have it's volume 3 of the games Kiana's running. And can't wait to see you're going to have another whole set of sisters for this bride. And both games have turned out completely different. One we didn't open the door, one we ran away. So we're going to see what's going to happen on this next session. And we would love to have you there. So, it was great to see all of you. Thanks for hanging out, and we love you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.